Okay.
Okay. It's another political show. Today we're going to be discussing the phased withdrawal of the South African military alliance from Congo DR. And with me to do that is Mustafa and Warif. You guys are welcome to the show.
Okay, welcome everybody. So yeah, so it's the
Thank you.
SADC group. So I think it's so some of the SADC members, South Africa, Botswana, Tanzania, have
Malawi
decided.
and Malawi.
Malawi, yeah, they've lost 19 soldiers total. I think South Africa's lost 13, and they're withdrawing. Now, mind you, that this was sanctioned by the UN. They sent their troops there, not as SADC. They sent them in as part of a UN contingent, and they are getting killed. And there's public outcry in South Africa. And now Ramaphosa is saying that he's removing his troops, and they're removing their troops. And meanwhile, M23 is taking more and more of Congo and is routing the Congolese, the Democratic Republic of Congo. But Ramaphosa says that they're moving out because the situation is risky. The situation is tricky, but at the same time, it's stable. Well, here's the thing. I think he has the right to pull his soldiers out, but who is he fooling? They're getting their asses kicked. What do you think, Afolabi?
Yeah, I agree with you. I think basically the main thing is that it's clear that the M23 fighters are significantly more sophisticated and better than whatever the SADC has been able to throw at them. Because, I mean, if you look at the gains territorially and the battle, the SADC as well as the Congolese army have lost so many people, and a lot of South African soldiers have died. Tanzania and Malawi. It appears the M23 have been backed by the West through Kagame. So they are more sophisticated, in terms of weaponry, in terms of military training. They are really no match for the SADC. And they're beginning to look at it that continuing to engage them in military conflict might not be the solution. Maybe they're exploring or they're trying to look at diplomatic route. That's why I feel that this is
Yeah,
happening.
so, here's the thing. 2 months ago, Ramaphosa and Kagame were doing WWE. I will beat you. I will beat you. South Africa is strong. We will show you. You are sending M23 to Congo to fight. Where are you now, Ramaphosa? You're pulling your legs between your tail between your legs like a cat. Now, here's what I have to say. South Africa had no business ever sending troops there on the behest of the UN. Why is it that it's only South Africa and what are the other countries? What are the other two countries
Malawi
that
and
follow?
Tanzania. Malawi and
Why
Tanzania.
is UN telling them to go and send troops there to help peacekeeping, not to help DR Congo? Because the white folks, as far as I'm concerned, they are in support of both M23, who's attacking Congo, and Congo, because this is what the white folks do. They send a few people to do peacekeeping. South Africa, and also you said Africa has lost a lot. They only lost 19 soldiers, but that's not the point. The point is, why weren't there white UN soldiers there too? Why didn't the UN bring its real military force? They sent a troop of 5,000, mostly South Africans, to go
Yeah.
there as making it look like they want to stop this situation. Meanwhile, M23 is taking more and more land, and this is a continuation of the genocide that took place in Rwanda, and now Kagame is coming into Congo to get revenge for the people who are the other tribe. What is Kagame? Is he Tutsi or Hutu? What is he?
Kagame
I
is
don't even.
Tutsi. Kagame is Tutsi.
Yeah, and this is what
I want to.
yeah, and the
Can I
U.S.
step
and
in?
are saying, "Oh, we can't do anything. It's bad." This thing is a big mess. I do think that it's right for SADC to move his troops out of there. You know why? Because
Why?
because it's a losing war. The real resources are supposed to come from America and France and all these countries to make it's a losing war, and they're setting up SADC for failure. And now we can all laugh at SADC and say, "You see, you are useless." Once again, African nations are rubbish, all of us. Because if we were going to cause peace in that area, we would do like
Yeah.
what Nigeria did before with ECOMAG and send real forces there and settle it and support the democratically elected government of Congo. What are your thoughts, Kunle? Yeah.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that the West have managed to maintain chaos in Congo. I don't know when there's ever been peace in Congo. Anytime I think Congo, I think of instability, and yet it's feeding the world with its minerals and so on and so forth. And yes, the West is putting a very mischievous hand on both sides. Rwanda isn't helping. And, like you said with ECOMOG, ECOMOG was supposed to police the West, Then the West sort of armed Boko Haram, and then Boko Haram came in, and then Kumok became a name of the past. South Africa should be able to police this area. They have the economic might to have the kind of soldiers and weapons to keep the peace. But if M23 are so well armed, there are only two powers that can arm M23. It's either the West or Russia. Without one of these two, M23 cannot do what they're doing. So it is a foreign power that is causing the mischief because nobody manufactures these weapons in Africa. AK-47s, M16s, they are not manufactured in Africa. Yeah. Well, so, and even if they're buying them, who is giving them the money? You always have to follow the money to know where the source of the problem is. And I'm quite sure that when you follow the money, that's where the source is.
Okay, so the money is coming, part of the money is coming from Kagame in Rwanda. And we all know Kagame is a CIA, AfriCorps, not AfriCorps.
And Rwanda is backed by the West.
Yeah, West. And Kagame was trained in America and sent there after the war, sent there to do their bloody shit. Now, so we know that this money's coming from America. I goddamn challenge anybody to tell me it's not. And what they're doing is they're sowing discord in this whole region to keep it unstable so that they can keep on shipping things, so that Elon Musk's electric cars and all this and Formula One's hybrid electric cars can do well. This is all about money. White folks want these batteries. We want our cell phones.
And iPhones and Samsungs.
Look, I have 3 cell phones. 1 cell phone for the show, 1 cell phone for myself, charger. I have everything thanks to what they're killing of black people. What are your thoughts, Warif? Yeah.
Okay, good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Most times when things like this happen, I always ask myself questions. What's the aim of them pulling out? Now, for them to have pulled out is that maybe there might be some war power behind them, because this thing, we can't deny the fact, is war politics. And if you don't pull out in supporting these guys, it might backfire to these countries. Now that South African troops and Malawi and some other troops are pulling out, what will be the fate of these people? How rebels they fight, and the rebels also, they have other countries that are backing them up. So you see, the Western countries, they are just using African countries like a testing ground for whatever thing they want to do, and our leaders are not sensitive to catch those things. So them pulling out, the other people supporting them, they should be able to equip them. But if they're not equipping them and they're not backing them up, that means their soldiers will continue to get killed.
Yeah, well, and here's the thing, only 19 of them were killed. So to me, it was only symbolic. Like how Kenya sent troops to fight in Haiti. It's just symbolic. He sent a few people. Only 19 of these soldiers died. South Africa, Ramaphosa is pulling out because it's embarrassing. And the South African people are like, we're having trouble in our country. Why are we fighting in a stupid war that's already been set up by the West? UN, which is run by America, and Donald Trump is saying that they're cutting aid to South Africa, and you're still selling troops for him to go there to do nothing, because America doesn't want that war to be solved. Same thing. Kenya, which is also involved with M23, is helping rebels in all these M23, SRS3. What's the name of the one that's attacking in Sudan, Afalabi?
I think it's CDLF or something.
Yeah. Kenya is helping rebels in Sudan. So it's very clear all of this is just a game for weapons to be sold, and also to keep these places unstable because they have resources. So it's good that Ramaphosa is moving out, but we have to take a close look and say, what's wrong with Africa? Why is it that the West is our play, like Wari said, it's the testing ground? Why are we their testing ground? What are your thoughts, Afolabi? Yeah.
Well, this situation seems very dire for the population of Congo, because in my own opinion, the humanitarian crisis is going to escalate to an all-time high. The Congolese army, they are not motivated, they are not sufficiently trained and skilled to continue this battle. So there's going to be more territorial gains for M23, and I foresee a time when a certain part of Congo will be ruled and dominated by the M23. They're going to have an M23 controlled Congo, and everybody knows they're being used as a proxy.
Which is controlled by America. Yeah, go ahead.
Yes, and everybody knows that M23 is just being used as a proxy to loot Congo's coltan and make money off it for Kagame, who is also working for the US, basically.
Yep. And I wouldn't be surprised if even Russia and China are helping, because which one concern them about Congo as long as they two are doing well. This is collective.
Yeah.
They're making about $800 million from coltan. And that's why Kagame is interested. All that story that he's trying to defend his country against Hutu militias is just an excuse.
And Kagame is a U.S. trained. He was trained in America. He didn't fight in the Rwanda war. He was in America and drinking tea and coffee and going to university.
Yeah.
Then when the place is peaceful, they say, "Oh yeah, go and destroy your continent." What are your thoughts, Kunle Williams?
Yeah, the source of this problem is the same source as we had in Palestine, the same source as we had in South Africa. It comes down to the Zionist movement. They have their diamonds there in the Congo. They have their financial interests there in the Congo. Mandela said that we won't be free until Palestine is free. Once you deal with Palestine, you manage to deal with the root cause, which is the Zionist entities that are feeding these wars in Africa in order to keep the country disorganized so that they can plunder the resources. And like I said, follow the money. And yes, the money does lead back to the West, and it does lead back to these people. But, right now in the world, telling the truth is very dangerous. Speaking out about the things that are going on is very dangerous, but that's what's going on, I believe. And I think
it's not even dangerous anymore because they kill us anyway. We have nothing to lose. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so some people were like, "Why are you talking?" I remember, was it Dr. Umar? I was so pissed off with him when he was saying, "Why are you complaining about Palestine when there's killing in Congo?"
Dr. Odulate.
Yes. No, Dr. Umar.
I'm joking.
I wanted to tell him what the, and I wanted to say, what the fuck is wrong with you? You're playing checkers. These people are playing chess. Why do you think the people that are causing problem in Palestine, they're the same people that are causing problem in Congo? You have to cut the snake at the head. You're just playing with the tail and can't do anything.
So what did Dr. Umar say?
Yeah. Dr. Umar was annoyed that we were only focusing on the battle in Palestine and we had sidelined the issues in the Congo. And he's not really thinking about the fact that the Congo and Palestine, it's all linked.
It's all linked.
It's all linked. It's the same people causing the same mischief in the two regions.
Mm-hmm.
So
and this is a human problem, and it's also a problem.
And the best place to start to deal with that is, of course, you stop projecting that Zionist power all over Africa. They almost went to Uganda, those people. They almost wanted to start in Uganda before they now said they settled in Palestine because the Middle East has one. Because before they settled there, you never heard of. Yeah, how many? Can somebody tell me how many Islamist terror suicide attacks there were prior to the creation of Israel? None. Just name one. One time that a Muslim tried to bomb someone in the West or cause a terror attack before the creation of Israel. Because they say that they're all mad and they just like to kill. When did it happen?
No, and it all started. We can talk about the crusade. The Westerners said they were coming in the name of Christ and killed Arabs and killed them and everything. It's only the West that has been aggravating the Arabic states. It's not the Arabic.
And it's so contradictory because the Bible, the oldest Bible is from Ethiopia, and the Bible is the story about brown people. How did they manage to take that and say it's about white people? Just like when they say transgender men and women, they want to carry women's rights and put it on their head and say, I don't understand how they managed to do this crazy things, turn things upside down and twist it, or how white people go and say they're Jews, they're the victims. How did they manage to make it so?
Let's look at Nigeria, put together by the British, and the Igbos, 6 million Igbos were killed during the Civil War by Black people. We kill each other for a country that was created by Britain.
The French armed Biafra. The French and the British took their sides.
Yeah.
And they played everybody. And there was the French mercenaries fighting in Biafra. They had a hand in it. You can't just blame. They had a hand in it because they knew.
Yeah, but they only had a hand in it because we allowed them. We were civilized before they were. How did we allow them to come in? For example, Yoruba land was destroyed because there was beef between the Oba and his nephew called in the British to help him beat his uncle. We let them come inside. We gave them the first foothold. We let the missionaries come.
We had wars. There were wars. You're right. You're right about that. I agree.
We let the missionaries come. We let them bring Islam and Christianity. We threw away our own religion and we said, yes, sir, we will follow you. That's how it happened.
Well, what was happened? The reason why the British prior to the British coming into Nigeria and bringing peace, there was several hundred years of wars where the two Yoruba tribes, the Egbas and the Ijebus, one was trying to unite with one over a war, and the British managed to bring general peace for the last 150 years.
Yeah, but why do you have to bring in white people? Why do you have to bring in white people to bring in peace? Why can't we do it ourselves? Well, because when you bring in a foreigner,
you see, because we're in a constant state of war. That's why.
It doesn't matter. But the point I'm making is that when you're having if you're having a war with your family, don't bring in people who are your enemies to solve the problem. Don't do that.
What happened is that we've had 150 years of peace because of it.
No, but it is our fault.
And right now, it's boiling over again. If you see the Odua People's Congress is like a neo-fascist Yoruba group that is now rising up to try to start that war that ended 150 years ago. Because they look at me and I'm like an enemy to them because my mother is Efik. So they look at me as an enemy. They believe only in the pure breed Yoruba. I am the enemy because my
brought down Africa.
Quite disgusting.
Tribalism. Yeah, tribalism.
Yes, it's quite disgusting. It's a form of neo-Nazism, tribalism in Nigeria.
Same thing in South Africa. If you're from Nigeria, they say "Futsak, fuck you, we hate you." But then when whites come there, they say, "Oh, we love you." This is why
Nigeria has all threats to them.
As a black person, we don't even have South Africans on our show anymore because they hate us. It's not our fault anymore. We can't work together.
I've got one that's thinking about coming, and I'm going to bring him in by Rumble.
The Northerners hate each other. The Northerners hate the Igbo. The Igbo don't hate the Northerners. The Yoruba will sell the country to anybody who pays enough. It's our fault. It's our fault.
Oh, no, the Yorubas managed to not. They still have control.
No, it was the Yorubas who caused what's his name? Awolowo backstabbed the country, man, and backstabbed the agreement. It's us now. It's us. What do you think, Afolabi?
I'll say Lagos is the one they call the no man's land.
Yeah, well, forget about Lagos. Yeah, go ahead.
I agree with you. We cost everything anyway. We have ourselves to blame. And if you look at the way it is in Nigeria, getting the Westerners to be involved in our matter was the first big mistake, because all they wanted us for was natural resources and control. So at the end of the day, we have ourselves to blame. So that's just the way I see it.
Yeah, because we were civilized before they were. We were stronger than they were.
Of course, look at the Ife bronze head. Look at the Ife bronze head. The wonderful sophisticated artwork that they have.
Even the Benin.
We were ahead of those guys.
Yes,
it's in London Museum now. They told us that they wanted to go and preserve it.
In terms of dexterity, sophistication, and artwork, we're very well advanced. So this story of missionary and all this bullshit was just for them to control us and get what they want from us and make us remain as slaves, basically.
Yeah. All right, so we're going to end soon. We're going to go around the circle one more time. Last starts Kunle, then we'll go to Arif, then we'll head out. Yeah.
Yeah, so this M23 issue is not resolving itself in a good way. We're hoping that the idea of BRICS step in. Africa cannot progress until we have peace in the Congo. It's the richest area in the world, and it's being plundered, and something needs to be done about it. And BRICS needs to stand. South Africa needs to police that region. Nigeria needs to police the west, the west of Africa. Egypt needs to have more dominance, and the bigger countries with the larger armies need to dominate. We don't want Europeans coming in or Americans coming in with their weapons and their influence, trying to force $1 on us and trying to force influence on us and take advantage of us. We want people that will give us a fair deal and peace. We can only get that through BRICS. We can't get that through all this nonsense.
Yeah, we have to do BRICS, but we also have to realize that BRICS is a trade agreement. It doesn't mean that China and Russia are our friends. It just means that we are in fair business with them.
BRICS towards peace. I'm looking at a peaceful movement. We're looking at peace and prosperity.
China is a logistical country, so they need peace to do well. Russia has raw resources. So let's just get into business. And we also have a lot of resources. and Africa needs to be united. And we need a
Russia
real
is guns, China is butter. Guns and butter.
Yeah, guns and butter.
Russia brings the guns, China brings the butter.
And I'll bring the moi moi. All right. What are your thoughts, Warif? Yeah. Is Warif out?
You see, the what is it called? The Europeans, when they came to Africa, they used their what would I call now, their knowledge to get some of our prominent men, because they know that we don't how will I say it, we are not civilized to know simple things. Like I heard the Portuguese, they came with mirror. You look at yourself,
Oh yeah.
you look at the mirror, you see yourself, wow. So they can use some of our African brothers, Nigerians, civilize them. Instead of them training Africans or Nigerians, they took side.
Yeah, they took side. I think his connection is bad, but it's okay. Take us out, Afolabi. Yeah.
Okay, it's been another very wonderful show. You
went out. Okay, you can finish up quickly.
Okay. Warif is back.
Okay,
Warif, you need to turn your screen.
So let me just try and conclude. So what will I say now? This corruption did not just start today. It started from long way back, the colonial era. Instead of they took side with the Europeans to sell out our people. That's what we are still suffering today. And it's not just in Nigeria, but
we're still selling our country. Tinubu is selling Nigerian resources to Europe. We need to stop that. Okay, thank you, Warif. We'll do some football stuff on Sunday. What is your thoughts, Afolabi, before we head out?
Yeah, I think some people are thinking that now that the South African military coalition has withdrawn, that has opened the door for negotiations and diplomatic alternative. But the president, Tshisekedi, the president of Congo, has always frustrated diplomatic efforts. I don't think he's down with it. Maybe now he has been boxed to a corner. He might go that route. But the M23,
but he doesn't want to lose his power.
He doesn't want to lose his power. And I don't think M23 are going to endorse anything diplomatic, because we all know they're there for the minerals. And that story about them protecting them against Hutus is just bullshit. They're not going to do anything that will limit their corrupt intentions towards Congo. That's what I feel. So M23 won't endorse any diplomatic route.
Yeah, I think that M23, who are they to come into another country and tell them what to do? You understand what I'm saying? M23 needs to be eliminated. They need to be, let the Congo people overthrow their president. Don't bring in M23.
I think if the Congolese president can do a Ukraine kind of deal with the United States, offer minerals for military support, and get M23 out of Congo, it might work.
Okay. What are your thoughts? I know I'm supposed to end. What are your thoughts, Kunle, about what Afolabi said? Yeah,
it might work. But the main thing that needs to work is a political change, political movement. But unfortunately, with the strength of M23, we're seeing a case of might is right. It's going the wrong way right now.
Yeah, and my problem is that M23 is a foreign agent. They're not an internal agent. So
it's like Boko Haram. It's like Boko Haram of Central Africa is winning. That's how it feels.
And M23 is a Western force.
It's a dark chapter in Africa.
At the end of the day, M23 represents the West way of influencing African politics.
It's a Western force.
All right, guys, thank you.
They speak of them as if they're freedom fighters.
It's a Western force.
Nice one.
They speak of them as if they're the good guys.
Yeah. Thank you very much, guys. So let's head on out. It's been a long week. We are tired. All right, nice one, guys. So we'll talk more on Sunday. We'll do a football show based on everything that's happening.
It's Carabao Cup on Sunday, I think, this weekend.
Yeah.
Liverpool, Newcastle.
Okay. And
then Arsenal, Chelsea on Sunday.
We can look at quarterfinal pairings for
Champions
League.
Talk
about Nigeria's squad for World Cup qualifiers or something like that.
World Cup qualifier, yes.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So take us out, Afolabi. Nice show, everybody. Yeah.
Another wonderful political show from Warif, Kunle, Mustafa, and myself. It's bye for now.
Bye, guys. Very good one. Thank you.
All right.